Holy fucking shit, we're back, everybody.
Hey.
It's hot on a Friday. It is not hot outside. Actually, it's fucking freezing on a Friday, but we're hot down here, motherfucker, in the crypt. In the motherfucking crypt.
We back.
Wow.
It is 22 out.
It's 22 out. What time is it right now?
Like 10 o'clock.
Like 10 o'clock, so... Marijuana has officially been recreationally legal in Michigan for...
That's right.
20... No. Just under 48 hours. 46 hours.
When did it? Was it the 6th?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday it went into effect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Woo! No more of this bullshit. Woo! But fuck, man. What a crazy day it has been.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff dropping. Lots of stuff dropping. Did you watch the Avengers trailer?
Didn't. I knew I was forgetting to do something.
Oh my god! That means I get to watch it with you for the first time? Holy shit. Yeah, I woke up. Someone texted me this morning. And I woke up to that text and they were, Avengers trailer! I was like, oh fuck. Here we go. I think the Brazil Comic-Con is going on right now.
Oh, all right.
So I was excited already for this weekend because I know that on Sunday we're going to get another trailer for Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's happening on Sunday. So I'm really excited. And I think we might get the first trailer for the new Spider-Man movie too, which will be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Mysterio's going to be the villain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'll be cool. There's a lot you can do with that.
I was hoping that they were gonna. Let's see. He's the guy with the orb on his head.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah.
They didn't. I was kind of bummed they didn't do anything with him in the game except for like real short thing because he was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my more memorable villains in the Spider-Man like story, I guess.
Universe.
To me, yeah, universe better.
In the fucking PlayStation game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like what they did with him in that game was letting us know that he might pop up heavy in the second one.
Yeah, that's kind of how I took it.
That's how I felt about that. Really fucking great game. Like, holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
What a game.
I'm still trying to wrap it up a little bit because even once you're done with it, just kind of flying around the city and stuff is like.
Oh yeah, and if you haven't you still gotta play the DLCs, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got quite a bit more left.
Lots more. One of them's not even out yet. The last one. So. But shit, there's that.
I can't believe I forgot to watch that.
Dude, neither can I. What the fuck?
Just a lot of shit going on today, I guess. Oh.
Like, oh man,
I saw it.
They've done it again.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
They've done it. You know what I mean? It's like,
God,
they have the Midas touch. They're doing it right over there at Marvel. Like, I don't care what anybody fucking says. It's gold. It's a golden age right now.
I know for certain I'll pay to see it. So,
oh my god,
I without hesitation. So
I'll probably pay more than once to see it. Like, I've paid more than once for I've paid at least once for all of them, more than once for all of them that I like a lot. So, Spider-Man. I'm really excited for Spider-Man. Because, as a kid, Spider-Man was always one of my favorite characters. And the fucking first movies will always hold a sentimental place for me. Because they were right after X-Men. X-Men was like the first great fucking superhero movie that I remember, you know what I mean? That I remember going to see as a kid. And then Spider-Man comes out and I was obsessed with those. But going back now, they don't hold up that well. They really fucking don't. It's really. Like, why is this fucking, 30-year-old trying to play a high schooler? What's going on here? Why did I believe this when I was a child? But
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. But and I never really got into the Amazing Spider-Man series, even though they did the Lizard, which is like one of my favorite villains, and I thought they did him pretty cool.
Yeah.
But honestly, the newest one is probably my favorite Spider-Man movie. Like, Homecoming was fucking incredible. Vulture was sick as fuck. Like, yeah, I loved that, so... I'm really excited for the next one.
Recently went back and watched the first one, and it was kind of cringy. Like it's a little rough.
But you fucking loved that shit.
Yeah,
oh
man.
My god, that first time you ever saw him swinging through the city, you're like, oh.
I like even before that, when he's there's like the shots of him like designing his whole like costume and stuff, and like everything else is just, I don't know, to see that, it was just kind of like. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that the first time in the theater and stuff, and leaving and just being like, floored. I was like 10 years old. Like,
oh yeah. Me too. It's the same way. Like, none of them really hit me as hard as X-Men though. Like the first time I saw the first X-Men movie, and the first time you see Wolverine, like that scene. From a kid who knows Wolverine from the comics and the cartoons. And someone who, I think I was like 10 or 11 at the time. And fucking, for me, it didn't like even click right away when you hear the guy punches him and you hear the ding. Like, I was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, it was like a slow build. Like, it was perfect for that. I don't know. It was just so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was so fucking good. And then the claws come out. Still one of my favorite scenes in any superhero movie ever.
Oh, man.
Of all time.
It's classic.
Oh, my God.
I saw that way later on, so I didn't really appreciate it for kind of what it was at the time. But
so good. Loved those movies. Yeah. And, you know, fucking... That, like I said before, the fucking... People forget that, like... Before Iron Man, before the MCU started, movie theater ticket sales were at an all-time low. Theaters across the fucking country were closing down. People were saying that Netflix had destroyed movie theaters. People weren't going to the movies anymore. It wasn't going to happen. And then the Marvel movies started coming out. And then all that talk just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, as they progressed. Other things happened too, like Dark Knight. You know what I mean? Can't take anything away from that. Like, and a bunch of other movies happened too. But the Marvel movies are what made going to the theater an event again. Made it worth it again to stand in line and have the whole experience. You know what I mean? Like, there was a point in time where people were saying people aren't going to the movies anymore. It's done. It's over. Thing of the past. Now we're paying $20 a ticket for 4DX 3D chairs moving, spraying shit in your face. Like, what the fuck?
It's definitely. I mean, it's just fun to see those, especially like on the big, you know, like the whole big thing and stuff. Because I feel like watching it back on, you know, like when it's out and stuff, it's just kind of like. It's cool, but it loses its, you know, kind of its edge a little bit, you know? I
don't know. Like, I mean, it got edge maybe, but like...
I don't know. I guess it depends on, like, what kind of, like, what movie we're talking about.
That's true.
Because there are,
there are a lot of different tones in all these Marvel movies, yeah. But, like, I kind of... Because I definitely have to see them all in theaters. But when I finally get at home and sit down and watch it by myself... You know, and like really absorb it. You know what I mean? Fucking.
That's true. Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Kind of pick up on things you missed the first, you know, couple times.
Because presumably, if you go to it, you're going at one of the opening nights. The theater's gonna be packed. So if a joke drops and the whole theater laughs, the next 3 lines you're not gonna hear.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick up shit you didn't hear in the fucking theater. You know what I mean? Like, it happens almost every time, especially with the most recent ones. Like, Ragnarok was funny as shit.
Yeah, it was.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Really good. Oh, man. So, yeah, we're definitely going to watch that after we wrap this shit up, my friend. What the fuck else? Oh, fucking New Children of Bodom dropped today. What? Like, is it Christmas already? Like,
I may as well be.
Holy shit. Oh, and it was good.
Yeah.
Really good. I can't remember what it's called, but it has a weird name. I don't have my phone. Yeah, you look it up. It was fucking...
It's definitely a callback to their earlier song, I'd say.
Yeah. But I
It's a
mean...
good mixture of the two.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, like on majority of their albums, they've kind of kept the same style, I guess, like that same kind of...
Very much.
Yeah, so...
I feel like this single really stands out a lot more than a lot of their previous singles, too.
Yeah.
Like, the hooks in it, the riff, the opening riff and everything, it's very... Like, it initially, the first 2-3 seconds of the song, I was like, that sounds like something from the 80s almost. Like, something, like, real, like, just a big hook, right in the beginning. Like...
Under
Cloverfields or something?
Under Grass and Clover.
Under Grass and Clover, yeah. Off of their forthcoming album, Hex, which should be released March 8th, I believe. Really cool album artwork.
Yeah.
Different color scheme. It's new. It's purple. I like it. I'm going to pre-order this shit. So far, no pre-orders that have any kind of DVD or anything, though.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed about that.
I don't know. I guess I haven't really looked into pre-orders and stuff for that.
They have... them and Devil Driver probably like have more fucking making of DVDs than like any other band that I collect. Like a lot of their fucking albums come with DVDs, and so I'm hoping this one ends up, but we'll see. I don't know who. I should look at the record label's website. I don't know who they're on.
Nuclear Blast.
Yeah, something like that.
Or E1, maybe.
Yeah. But it's a good song. Check it out. It's a really fucking good song. I like it a lot.
I went back and it's funny because I went what was it? Halo Blood came on the other day.
Oh my god!
And I was like, man, this is a lot sicker than because it's been a long time since I've heard it. And
Halo's one of my. It's probably I like that one the best since Blood Drunk. That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like I love that album. The fucking. That one song, I never remember the name of it.
Oh, that sounds like the X-Men theme.
Yeah. I fucking love that song.
I don't remember what it's called either, but yeah, every time I'm like...
I love it. God, it's awesome. Such a good hook.
I liked I Worship Chaos a lot, but I felt like... I don't know, the one before it just was a little better to me. I don't know.
Halo Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember if that was the name of the... Because I knew it was a song, but I don't know if the album was named the same thing or not.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So fucking good. I hope they come here. Come to Michigan on the next tour.
I want to see Amon Amarth with Bodum and fucking Iron Maiden.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
On the same tour. And I know I'm like...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now
you're
whatever.
Talking like Vakken.
Yeah.
That's like Vakken.
Well,
It's main stage of Vakken.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm sure it's probably already happened there.
Yeah. But like, that's a festival.
Yeah.
Like, an actual tour with them, that's unheard of. It should happen.
Yeah.
But...
I don't know.
That's one thing about Iron Maiden, isn't it? Like, they're not known for taking bands out on tour very much. At least lately. At least in the past, since, like, Brave New World-ish. Since I've been old enough to go to their shows. Like, fucking...
Well, and apparently both them and Amon Amarth are, like, in the same circle... I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how much, to be honest with you.
I feel like every Amon Amarth fan is an Iron Maiden fan.
I guess that, yeah.
I feel like that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
Because I love Iron Maiden and I love Amon Amarth. Like, pretty sure it goes like that. Not every Iron Maiden fan is an Amon Amarth fan, but every Amon Amarth fan is probably an Iron Maiden fan.
Yeah. That's fair. I'll give you that.
So fucking good. That Eye of the Storm documentary is amazing.
I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. And then I heard him on Metal Sucks podcast the lead singer.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was, you know, kind of run of the mill interview, like kind of a lot of the same stuff that was in the documentary. Is what I really mean by that. But fucking the documentary is incredible.
I gotta pick that up. Did you ever get a chance to listen to the live stuff that came with it?
Yeah. So fucking good. Honestly, really they sound amazing. But here's the live albums that I love are the ones where you can really hear the crowd.
Yeah.
And you really couldn't on this one. And there were some parts where I really thought you should have been able to hear them louder. Like during the chanting parts and stuff.
Yeah.
They should have, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if, like, the audience is mic'd, you know, around it or whatever, like, on the ones you can. But, like, Megadeth's live album, That One Night at Buenos Aires, that is a great live album because of the crowd. Like, you can feel the fucking crowd coming through on the album. Like, that's what I really like about live records. One of the elements that I like about them. And,
take a listen to that because I don't think I've ever heard.
You should check that out. It's really good. But that was one thing I felt like was missing a little bit from the Amon Amarth one. But in terms of everything else, I think they sounded awesome. Like, for sure.
They're just tight. They just sound like really good.
I can't wait to see them again. They could come back with Bodum. Bodum and them toured here last time. Or 2 tours ago for Bodum.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. But
I'd definitely pay for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at 2019 consisting of possibly
some of the craziest.
It's one of the biggest metal years in a long, long time. long time. Like,
which is saying something because this year was.
Yeah, this year was really great.
Yeah.
Really great. But we're talking about new Children of Bodom, new Slipknot, new fucking, maybe new Lamb of God, but probably not. Yeah. Probably it'd probably be the end of the year or early the following year, you know. New Devil Driver, a lot more. There's so much more. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That I'm just blanking out right now. Damn it. Slipknot. There we go. Did I already say that? Damn it. Shit. Fuck.
Because it's the only one that matters. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it's... did you see that was like a quick 2-minute video, but it was them. It was like a behind the scenes thing of their video, the last video they put out.
I did not see that yet.
It's basically like, I mean, all it really is just like a short, you know, here's what this is about kind of thing, and it's Clown talking to everybody, but they're all like, they all got the masks on and stuff.
Nice.
And he's just kind of like standing around. He's like, this is intense. Even standing right here, like looking at everybody, this is because like they've all got, you know, they all look the same. So like looking around, it's just kind of crazy or whatever. But it's cool. It got me fucking pumped. I don't know.
I'm excited for that album. I really am.
It was cool though because nobody that was there knew what was going on. They were just kind of like, you know, this is the next thing that we're doing. We're just gonna ask you to be a part of it, and so here we go. Just do, like, you know, help us be a part, you know, and like make this happen and stuff. And
wait, who?
So it was Clown when he was talking to everybody.
What do you mean everybody?
It's hard. It's kind of hard to explain without seeing the video, but like he's standing like they're like next to like before they start filming.
Yeah.
Everything. He's standing next to the bus that's in the first part of it. And like it's like everybody that was in the video, like with the weird masks on and stuff, and like so he's talking to everybody that's in the video, and he's telling them like, you don't know what we're doing right now, but this is the next thing that's like the next era, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Oh shit.
But, yeah.
Oh
they're like,
shit!
Just we like.
So they didn't know what they were in for, and they show up, and there's Clown saying, "You don't know this, but you're a part of the next phase of Slipknot."
Yeah.
Holy shit!
He's like, we got a bus that's hard to stand in. We got some other stuff. He's like, just just be a part of this, you know, and just, I don't know, it was awesome to see. Like,
that's crazy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Honestly, like, I've never gone that deep I've never gone as deep into Slipknot as I have now, you know? And that, you know, there were always, like, because there was a point in time where I was like, unless it's from the 80s, no clean vocals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless, like, after I found Lamb of God, it was, unless it's from the 80s, clean vocals means you just want to be on the radio, and then you're a radio band and whatever. And then I was like, well, come on. Come on.
Well, the stuff you're missing out on.
Yeah, there's some stuff I'm missing out on, like Slipknot, for example. But, like, at the same, so I'm, like, going deeper, watching a lot more interviews, stuff like that, and fucking, yeah. There are certain people that I really, like, the only group of people that I've never seen that I've wanted to see on Joe Rogan have been heavy metal people. The closest he's got is like Steven Tyler, you know, Ted Nugent.
Hetfield was on it.
Hetfield. There we go.
Yeah.
Hetfield. Yeah, that was pretty. But you know, it's Hetfield.
Yeah,
like
I would love to hear him talk to Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor would be unreal. That would be one of the coolest interviews ever. Yeah. Rogan and Taylor. Josta and Rogan. I want to hear Jamie Josta. I've heard Jamie Josta talk about it. I just feel like they're both so fucking busy. Nobody's, you know what I mean? Who knows? Yeah. But it would be such a good interview. Yeah. It would be so good. And then, I mean, I think just because I've never heard him on a podcast like that, I think Randy Blythe would be a really great one. Because I've never heard him actually just talk for straight, like, 2 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I've heard him do, like, 10, 20, 30 minutes, but never a full-on real podcast like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd really like to hear something like that, but...
Other than the times that he's been on Josta, I don't think he's done...
he has been on Josta a couple times.
I don't think he does too much, like, press stuff anymore.
No, I mean, you know, he'll do some stuff, like... I imagine he does a lot of stuff for, like, his art stuff. Yeah. But that's probably a lot of, like, more locally, like, to, you know, the news that the people that are going to come to that are going to see. It's not national. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an album, you know, that's going to be around the world, you know. It's a lot more local, and then it's advertised online for the rest of the world, you know. God, there was another one that I thought of earlier that would have been, that I was like, man, he should be on Joe Rogan. No, I can't remember. Oh, Dee Snider. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
Yeah, Dee Snider.
I feel like that's pretty possible.
Yeah, I feel like that should happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that'd be awesome.
Or at least on Joey Diaz.
Holy shit. No. I'd rather hear him on Rogan because I've heard Diaz talk about Twisted Sister. And because Diaz went to everything. With Jim Florentine. On one of the episodes where Jim Florentine was on. Because Jim Florentine brought up Twisted, and he was like, I fucking love Twisted Sister back in the day. And Joey Diaz was like, you know, the thing about Twisted Sister is I walked in to one of their concerts, I saw the way they looked, and I left. And I never got into them. So it's like, all right, I get, even though he did fucking love Motley Crue and stuff, so it's like, come on. Yeah. But at the same time, I, like, considering the things that Diaz has seen, that doesn't take anything away from him.
No.
You know, he was, I heard him say something on a recent episode where he was like, how the fuck, he's like, I can't fucking pay, you know, what these fucking bands are charging now, like $60, $70, $100, $200, $300, $400 a fucking ticket for shit, when I saw Pink Floyd The Wall, original lineup Black Sabbath in the 70s, for $13.
Yeah.
At Madison Square Garden, front row.
I think I've heard him say that before. Yeah.
Like, Jesus, yeah. It's like, yeah, you saw it, bro. You're not. They're not better now. They're not better now. So you saw what they're trying to recreate every time they're on that stage. You saw what they're trying to recreate now. So, yeah, I get it. I wish I could have seen some of it too. Oh man, Judas Priest in the '80s, Iron Maiden in the '80s. You know, I noticed Bruce Dickinson's growing out his hair a little bit.
Oh, I saw that.
I was like, you son of a bitch. Come on. Give me the album.
Please.
Give me a fucking throwback album. Come on. Everyone wants it.
Dude, I was on a kick the other day at work because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to listen to. You ever get those like moments, those mornings and stuff?
Oh yeah.
So like I was kind of flipping around with some stuff. I was like on Deftones. I was like, it's I dig it, but not. I don't know. I'm kind of looking for something else, and like all of a sudden, I just ended up on. I think I ended up playing like Dio or something at first, and then that set me down. Like I played like I don't know. Yeah. Bunch and like I don't know, stand up and shout like Holy Diver, like everything off that album and stuff.
I love the Metal Allegiance cover.
Oh, dude.
Of We Rock.
Yeah, that song
so
too.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
We Rock.
And then I ended up on Maiden and stuff. Just went down this whole big like
a light in the black. Or just a fear of the dark. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
Goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Like, oh my God. So how was that wormhole?
Oh, it was, I mean...
You just went down and you're like, oh my God.
For a solid few hours. And then it was just kind of like whatever ended up playing. Like,
did it make you angry in your soul that they're not coming to Michigan on this amazing tour?
I try not to think about it.
I do too. I try not to, but it doesn't work.
It's disappointing.
Oh my God. I'm so upset. Like when I saw no Michigan dates on that, I felt like someone just took a pin in my balloon and popped it. Like, oh. Not only that, none of the places, like everywhere they're going to is an amphitheater. No one has like general admission. It's all seats. I'm sorry, it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
Give me the option to be on the floor.
Yeah,
for it,
exactly.
At least.
Like have an open floor. Like, there's so much magic that happens when that's the fucking situation. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm pretty fucking. Oh no, they came back to the Palace. When we saw them that one time at the Palace, they didn't have seats down there. I don't think.
No, it was all open.
Yeah, but that was the only time since the A Matter of Life and Death tour that they had A, come to Michigan, and B, had an open floor. So twice in the past 20-ish years, or no, say since 2005. So since 2005 to now, twice they've been here with an open floor. They've been here probably 4 times-ish in that time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Ish. But they fucking never with a floor. And that's because that was the first time I saw them, and that was like that was one of the craziest floors ever. Like ever.
When the show is over and the lights come up and that little tear kind of starts to well up.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's
absolutely like that was
like, I don't want to leave here, man.
Because that was 2006. So that show, at that point in time, I didn't know how crazy that was until, and then even for a while, I still didn't really grasp it because like not long after that, I went to Live Fucking Dominance, which is unbelievable, and Ozfest, which was crazier than any of the Mayhems because all the Mayhems had 2 stages in the parking lot. Ozfest had 1. So the whole fucking parking lot was the pit. Like, oh my God. Like, so I went to some fucking real heavy hitters after that. But at those times, I just thought this was it. I thought this was the way concerts were. I didn't know it would ever taper off and become, like, more tame like it is now. It's just weird. I don't... the edge isn't in the crowd like it used to be.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that the last few shows. It seems like
it's just not.
It's weird.
It's sharp.
Yeah,
there's something. I don't know what's going on. There's something missing. There's some kind of tameness that's. I don't know. Now, I get it in shows like Grand Rapids because it's always been like that. Well, it hasn't, though. It hasn't. Because back in the day, like, way back in the day, I don't remember the shows back at the intersection way back then, but I do remember the shows at the Orbit Room. And those were fucking intense. Those got real crazy in there.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's because the Orbit Room isn't downtown like all the rest of the venues are now. The Orbit Room used to be on the outskirts to like their Okemos to Lansing.
Oh.
Kind of a thing.
Okay.
It was literally... Have you ever been there?
What?
Orbit Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember, it was in the fucking parking lot of a mall.
I felt like we were walking into like a movie theater or something. It was weird. So
fucking... It was very... weird setup, but like it seemed like that's where the fucking crazies of Grand Rapids must have gone, and now like we just went to that fucking Cannibal Corpse show. It was amazing show, but the crowd, like, I was like, there's an edge missing here. Like, I shouldn't be able to stand this close to the stage and not really worry about anything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's like at some point, you know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It is kind of weird thinking about it. Like,
I think a big thing is the loss of the summer festivals. I think that's a big thing. I think that's a big part of it, and I don't know.
I think it also might have to do something with all of like and I hate to bring it up like this, but I mean it's just kind of a factor. Like, I don't know, times are kind of changing and like shit's just kind of crazy and stuff, and like I don't know, maybe people are kind of like being a little more cautious, I guess. I don't know. Like, you know, with all, like, the you know, like, there's been quite a few, like, concert, you know. Like,
no, that's true. That's true.
Tragedies and stuff. And
but, I mean...
I don't think that that's the sole reason, but I think that probably has, like...
And that's... The kicker is that... Yeah... I don't think that, but that's not, like, I don't know. It just seems like the fucking, I think maybe people, I think a way to, what you're saying is, like, a way to explain it would be, like, people are, like, more cautious. So maybe they're, like, paying more attention to their surroundings as opposed to the show, and they're not getting as into it. But, I don't know. The show is the escape, right?
No.
Like, it's when you're supposed to just let go and go wild. Like,
I don't, and it's funny because, like, I mean, you still, and I know we've talked about this before, like, you still see, you know, like, people headbanging and stuff, but, like, it's few, it's, like, little pockets here and there of people and stuff, and then it just kind of, like, it's not really a thing that, like... people are doing anymore. Like, I don't know.
You know what? You know what? You know what it is? Son of a bitch. I don't know what it is, but I think I know how to fix it. Because you know where I didn't see this? Was at Goat Horror. And where we see Goat Horror? Max Bar in Lansing. And Lansing is not notoriously a very heavy metal city. And one thing I do remember saying about that show is I felt like a lot of people at that show hadn't been to a show in a while. You know, they weren't acting the way normal people act at a fucking show. But the level of intensity, how into it they were for such a small place, the headbanging, the moshing, you know, doing what they could in that small of a place, amplify that, and that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just part of the cycle. Maybe it's just part of the cycle. And right now, because there are no big touring festivals, there's no, you know, Slayer just is retiring. You know what I mean?
No.
Granted, they're like passing the torch to fucking Lamb of God, and Slipknot's there, and, you know, all this is really great and everything. But there's no longer Slayer to point to as they're the fucking top ones going, always will be Slayer. Because they are them, you know, they're just at the top of the heap, you know what I mean?
Right.
With that gone, the touring festivals gone, and a lot of shit like changing over, I think it's just maybe it's just part of the cycle. And now we're going to have some new, right now, bands that are playing in small clubs in a year or two that you're going to start seeing them on every fucking touring cycle as the openers, and they're going to be the ones bringing the crazy crowds, like Slipknot did at one point in time, like Dahlia did at one point in time, you know, like Lamb of God did at one point in time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fucking, I just heard some story about us, I have no idea what podcast it was, but somebody was telling a story about opening for, being on a tour where somebody was opening for, or Slipknot was opening for somebody, and a fucking, like, 400 kids showed up in full fucking Slipknot costume. Slipknot was the opener. Slipknot played, everyone left. And the fucking headliner played for, like, a half a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, that. No band has that going right now. Not at least. And I think that will somebody will figure out this new internet medium and how to fucking do it, there's no book on this shit. They'll figure out the way to fucking do it that works for them and that catches on. And, you know, because no one set a tone in this new weird market. You know, we got Bandcamp, but there's no one's really, like, set a tone on how to make it work like the bands did in the old days. You know, you could look at other, like, how this band did it. Well, any idol band of yours or mine, even the ones that, like Dahlia, that did it in the mid-2000s, they still fucking didn't, they had MySpace. They didn't have what we have today. It was very, very different, and even they will say that. I've heard, you know, people say, you know, from that time. I was listening to Dee Snider interview the guy from Motionless in White, is what I was listening to.
Oh, I think I didn't hear that, but I saw you.
I have
probably pretty interesting.
No fucking idea who Motionless in White is. I've heard their name, that's all I know. But the interview was pretty interesting because he was from that time period. And, like, he was saying, like, yeah, I don't know how you even do it now. Like, it's, because he's like, because there's no, back then you could still fucking get everyone in the van and just go. But now, like, so much is so expensive, even that's almost, if you want to, like, try to go out of state, it's almost impossible. Like, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's definitely changing. I mean,
rapidly.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if, you know, because I'm it's hard to say if like if this style of music is, like, I mean, to me, as far as, like, the underground stuff, I feel like it's definitely on the, you know, on the incline as far as, like, the quality of, like, I mean, I don't know, I guess you could argue either way for that, but I feel like there's a lot more stuff, like, going on right now that, you know, it's a lot of, like, saturation and stuff, and there's a lot of different, you know, things, and no one's really, like you said, no one's really got the, you know, like, the marketing down for it and stuff, and, so,
you know, another point in that same interview that is kind of like what saturation, they're like, D. Snyder was trying to make the point where it's like, you have metal, all right? Metal is already a small thing. Like, it's big, but it's small in comparison to other things. It's still everything else, pretty much. It's still an underground thing. And even though it's gone mainstream at certain points, and there's rock stations and all this, it still is not a mainstream form of music at the moment. And so, and his point is, why do you take something that's already that thin and then slice it 80,000 times in all these 80,000 different subgenres? His point was, like, subgenres fighting against each other, like, oh, this is so much better, fuck you, and not supporting each other. Yeah. Which I agree with him on. I do not think that should be going on, because at the end of the day, when I go to a metal concert, I feel like I'm amongst family. You know what I mean? These are the people that, even though I've never seen them before in my fucking life, they understand on this level. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I can, like, that's why I'm completely comfortable going to a metal concert by myself. You know what I mean? Like, because you just feel like you're amongst friends, pretty much. So this idea of infighting between subgenres is something I disagree with, because I listened to so many of those, like, as many of the subgenres as I can get my hands on. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that was something I used to do a lot, like, when I was more so when I was in, like, like high school and kind of graduated and stuff, like, and it's mostly because it's just kind of what you're into. It's a part you have to. I feel like it's something you should go through when you first get into metal. Yeah. When you first get into it, it's something you should take a stand on, like, no clean lyrics after the 80s. You know what I mean? Like, you should do that, and then get to a point where you are wanting to broaden your horizons. Because then, when you want to, holy fuck, there's a big fucking plethora of things to check out. Like, and it's like really exciting for me right now, because I feel like I can discover so much new shit. It's funny to me that you brought this up, because I was thinking about something kind of similar recently. So, like, all right, so like, there's a bunch of different ways people get into heavier shit, and stuff, and, like, kind of what they end up falling into or whatever, and like, so I guess my question to you is, at what point, like, do you go from I don't really know how to, like, phrase this question, but, like, how do you decide that something's not heavy enough that you need to go further into it and stuff? And, like, is there a certain point where you feel like people just kind of stop and just kind of, like, okay, like, that's, it's too much, or it's like it's just not into it, or, like, is there a specific, like, defining point for you where you realized, like, like, so I don't know, like, I guess like Avenged or, like, Parkway, for example, like, they're like, they're heavier and stuff, and I feel like they're more like gateway bands, sort of. Sure. But, like, how do you decide that, like you want to go further than that, or you just kind of want to, like, stay right there? Like, is there, like, a... Well, for me, until I found Lamb of God, I didn't really like the death growl, because I couldn't understand it yet. I didn't have the ears for it yet. You know what I mean? Everyone that listens to it knows exactly what the fuck I mean. Yeah. Like, bitch ears. Yeah, like, you can, the more you listen to it, the more you can understand the words. Like, I can understand almost every Cannibal Corpse lyric, like, except for when he goes really, really fast. But or the super early stuff. That's but fucking. I before Lamb of God, I was pretty much just, like, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Dio, Judas Priest, I love Pantera, Manowar, fucking Rage Against the Machine, Marilyn Manson, like, a lot of, like, that, all that's AC/DC, and a lot of, like, the older bands. And then Preston showed me Lamb of God, And after he showed me the song Laid to Rest, I asked him, who are their lead singers, plural? Because I didn't think that sound could have come out of one person. And I asked him that because we were also into a band called 3 Inches of Blood, which I liked because it was a band that had 2 lead singers. One of them sounded like Rob Halford sometimes, and the other one had kind of like a cool higher register death growl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that kind of goes together. I can get. It was like they were kind of like a. Now that I think about it, I never thought about this. They were kind of like a gateway into the death metal, more of the death metal stuff for me. And so he showed me Lamb of God, and that was the first time the death growl hit my ears, and it sounded cool, and it sounded heavier than Metallica. You know, it was, heavier than Slayer almost. Like fucking one of the heaviest. It was finally an extraordinary example of an extreme vocal style that I felt complemented the extreme music style of heavy metal perfectly. And that was the first time I really thought it sounded cool. And once I got into Lamb of God, it was Devil Driver, Children of Bodom, that run slowly into Cannibal, because I really loved Wretched Spawn. And so it got heavier from there. And from there, I definitely found more over time. But this phase would have been from like 2006 to 12-ish probably. From 2006 to 2012, those 6 years were really like, I'm discovering a lot of new stuff. And then after that, like, because there was a lot of extreme styles that I had not gotten into. It was kind of just those 3 bands and anything that sounded kind of like them, like straightforward songs, not a lot of like effects, and song structure, like relatively standard song structure, and
catchy, like easy to follow.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so I kind of like got in that puddle for a while, up until literally like now, in this year. And it was, and when I had the job at the head shop, there was an Alexa there. And there would be days where I'd be like, Alexa, play death metal. Or play metal or heavy metal or whatever, and she would just play shit, and she'd start playing shit I'd never heard, and you could go, who is this? And she'd tell you, and you look them up right there on the computer and shit, and I started like discovering bands and albums that way, and most notably, I started hearing some of those styles of music that I didn't necessarily like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago that were hitting my ears differently now, like Whitechapel or Black Dahlia Murder. Like, I didn't really like them when I first started hearing them in 2010, 11, 12. But now I fucking really like them a lot. Like, I hear it differently. You know what I mean? So, like, once it's weird, like, I don't know if it's like a conscious point to where I want to get heavier or this isn't heavy enough, but that's definitely, like, it's almost like I got to the point where either I got like bored with my norm or I just wanted to expand it or something. But I'm definitely like pretty much the only place to expand is into heavier stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been doing. and to go back and because there were a lot of albums from older bands that I never got that I'd always wanted, like some old Ozzies or Motorheads and Judas Priests and stuff like that. So Cannibal. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's for me personally, at least, it was more of like, I just kind of got to a point where
just don't do it anymore. Like, it just doesn't scratch that,
Yeah.
Like, you need something a little more.
Yeah, it doesn't scratch the itch. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I've been finding stuff that does left and right. It's like coming at me every day.
Because to me, I don't know. I don't know. I started thinking about this the other day because, like, I don't know. I tend to be around, a lot of people with various different, like, tastes and things, and like, some of them are like, pretty into like, like pretty like top 40 like, rock stuff, like, like you're Breaking Benjamins and you're like, Five Finger Death Punch and stuff like that, and then like, it's I feel like you have to, like, because to me, I think I started with like, okay, so like when I think when I first started wanting to like seek out heavier stuff, I think to me it was really like thrash, because to me I was like, I don't know, it was like the speed and like the aggression and stuff in it. And then like, because like most people, I don't know, or like the average, I don't know, I don't want to like pigeonhole or whatever, but like I guess like the average listener, like I guess like the heaviest thing would probably, like, some people only get through like, like Metallica, like that's the heaviest thing,
absolutely.
Stock or whatever. I feel like to me it's more like to get into more like progressive sounding stuff. I feel like you have to, kind of like want to hear, kind of like what you're saying, like you have to want to like actively seek it out, but you also have to kind of have a little bit of understanding for it, like about it and like kind of what's going on, because it is, I mean, for a while, like, let's see, I'm trying to think of a good.
I kind of know. I think I know what you're saying, because they're really staples for me. Like, I loved the Wretched Spawn. I loved like Lamb of God and Devil Drivers. So like, to get heavier than them, what you're abandoning is any kind of groove, song structure. Those bands are really groovy, and they have a lot of melody, and that's what I really liked. Like Iron Maiden and Megadeth, like that's what I liked. Fucking. And then you get to a point where it's like, that isn't hitting it. I need something unexpected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need something that's gonna hit me differently, from a different angle almost.
Yeah.
And like fucking. And I'm lucky enough to have like you and Preston around, where I can be like, what are you guys listening to lately? Like, what's been up? And fucking. Yeah, you show me fucking. You hit in the beginning. You were like, every single thing you suggested me, I was like, this is incredible. Like Thy Art Is Murder, unbelievable, unbelievable. Fucking Behemoth albums that I like, fucking unbelievable. Fucking yeah.
I think it takes that, and it also takes just the want to just, find something else that just,
Yeah, because it kind of like, okay, the first time I heard Lamb of God, it sounded like two people were making that sound. Now when I listen to it, I can't hear it the way I first heard it. And I know that. I recognize that. It literally, physically sounds different to me now than it did the first time I heard it. So it's changed over time. So it got to the point for me, like everybody else, that people like Joey Diaz, who saw Black Sabbath in their prime, and now Black Sabbath is on the radio. When back then they couldn't get on the radio because they were too heavy. Well, to me, even though they're like my favorite fucking band, Lamb of God has kind of like in my ear gotten to that point. I guess you could say I've overplayed them for myself, maybe, but it's like they are like the benchmark. They are another Slayer or Megadeth or Iron Maiden to me. They're in that realm to me. And so now I'm looking for new, like, littler ones, like what Lamb of God was to me back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that same, like, when you come across something, like, you just got that moment where it's like,
whoa.
Yes, like, this is, this is what I'm looking for. Like, that's how I felt about Discarnate, that band we listened to a while ago. Yeah. So I was like, I want something like, or like, I guess a different example is like Dark Sermon. Is when
I don't really know Dark Sermon.
They're
I've heard the name a lot.
Yeah, they're not really around anymore.
Okay.
They kind of split up. They only had 2 records.
Right.
But they're pretty different from each other. But like, I was like, I specifically remember sitting and like, I don't know, just like scrolling through stuff or like listening to stuff, and I was like, I really want something that's like dark and atmospheric, but like, you know, kind of like heavy at the same time and stuff. And then I was kind of like, I think I went through like names and stuff, and I just came across that, and I was like, this, like, and then, like, that's kind of what you have to get to. But like, I feel like you have to want to make that.
Yes.
You know.
Absolutely.
Like.
Yes.
And I feel like that's kind, you know, but it's also like, you know, because I also kind of realizing that, you know, I mean, you miss out on a lot of stuff, and like I recently, for one reason or another, like just found myself really into just obscure black metal lately. It's just what's been, you know.
Hey.
But I've never like, and that's something
It's a great thing.
Yeah. Like like the fact that I've been, you know, I mean, both of us have been into it for a long ass time. We could still, like, there's still so much that like I want to look into and stuff. Like it's you know,
when fucking,
or like older stuff that's come out that I haven't. You
when you casually go, hey, we should do a top 10 metal albums of the year on the podcast a few weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Good call, bud. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the monumental task. I was like, quick Google search of how many like metal albums that came out this year. I was treated to a list of like 300. I was like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much out there. There's more happening now than ever before. And like you said, it's oversaturated, but oversaturated? No, I don't agree. Like, I just feel like, to me, that means there's something for everyone. And
I don't think that, I think oversaturated was probably the wrong word. I just think that there's a lot of really good stuff out there, and there's also a lot of really like kind of subpar stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a very fine line sometimes, but I also feel like, you know, I mean, there's just, you know, just a lot. Like, it's a lot. I guess. I don't know. Like,
it is a lot. That's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to making this list. Like, I'm still putting together like the list. All right, all the albums that have come out this year that I've already heard. All the albums that came out this year that I want to hear, and I have to go through and listen to both those lists and narrow it down.
I should do
to
that.
10.
I gotta make a list.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Because there is so much. A lot of good stuff, too. A lot. Like, I'm already looking at my list like, I'm going to have trouble. This is going to be more difficult than I originally anticipated. But it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
So, I don't know. I was just something I was thinking about this week. Oh, yeah. Like,
I like that. I've thought about that recently, too, honestly.
Like, do you know, and it's also, because I get it, you know, I mean, after a certain point, you kind of get burnt, like I do, get burnt out with stuff, and you just want to hear something completely different, but then, like, I always go back. I never, never once have I just been like, man, I'm just kind of done with it.
Oh,
like,
no, never.
And
Even
when it has reached that point, I'm like, all right, now hang on just a second, and that a lot of times causes me to go back. When I get that, you know, like, I mean, there's decades of stuff that.
What's that one album by them that back in the day I didn't like so much?
Yeah.
You go back and listen to that one, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What is this? I've been sleeping.
Sick as this, yeah.
Fuck.
But it's I think it's more of like, you have to, well, you gotta want to make that decision, because
and honestly, I think that's what, you know, that's what, at this point, that's what the heavy metal community is like. Fucking there's you know, there's always gonna be the old guard, but if they can just find a way to let go of any infighting that may be going on out there.
Yeah.
We just need to be done with that, and like, we're all metal, all right? Like, we're all fucking metal. Let's fucking do this. Unite, metal, unite. That's what it's always been to me. Like,
I think, yeah, because I don't know, I think I was trying to go this way, but I went off on a tangent a little bit. But like, I don't know, when I was first getting into it and stuff, like, you know, it was you know, mid 2000s, I guess, you know, and like deathcore was the big thing and stuff. And then, you know, time went on, and all of a sudden, like, all the bands that I was really into that were considered deathcore bands just didn't want to be considered deathcore anymore. And it was like, to me, it's fine because, like, it's all just heavy, like, you know. But I guess, you know, back then, you know, if somebody said that, I was just kind of done with it. Like, you know, I think that there's a lot of bands that kind of get that stigma. Like, I think, you know, Whitechapel is definitely kind of more polarizing than they used to be.
Well,
just
you know,
because they've changed up their, you know.
I think, too, is, like, people that listen to the really heavy stuff don't want to be, like, associated under the same title. But look, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck it. No full genre is perfect.
Yeah.
You know? So, just...
There's good and bad and
fuck
everything.
it.
Like, there's really good, like, solid deathcore. There's really good, solid, like, black metal. Like, there's always going to be your, you know...
And there's Steel Panther.
Yeah. So, by the way, I got to ask you about that.
Steel Panther show?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I felt like a piece of shit because I didn't go. Like,
stop. It was good.
To be honest with you, like, I knew that you said it was on your birthday and stuff, and like that was the first thing that I saw, and then I was like, oh shit, I forgot that was tonight or whatever, and like I just completely blanked on it and stuff, and like I knew we talked about it and stuff, and I just kind of felt like, well,
oh no,
damn it, like,
no. It was good though. It was a good time. It was a weird set list. They did their Sunset Strip live, so it was like the set list they play out there, and it mostly consisted of covers. Like, most of the show was covers, but he came out and did that Ozzy impression, which was dope. And yeah, it was really good, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit more original material, but it was still really good.
Kind of covers.
Fuck. Van Halen, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne. Like, a lot of times they'll, like, fake you out and, like, start playing a song, like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, and fuck with you and shit. So, like, they did that for a lot of songs. But, yeah, you know.
I saw their bassist went to rehab. I thought
Sex
that was
Rehab, Lexi
fucking... It's just, I don't know, it just made sense to me. I was like...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a joke. I'm pretty sure he's just sick or something. But
yeah.
Because if you read the article, they're like, we got our longtime back doorman, Spider, to fill in for him. And I was like, hang on. Your longtime back doorman? So he just happens to know how to play bass in every single one of your songs. Okay. Okay. Something's funny here.
I don't think I read the actual article. I think I just saw the line for it. I just thought it was funny.
Yes.
I was like, that just figures.
Lexi wasn't there when I saw him, though. It was Spider. And Satchel was making fun of him because he's like, look at this Nikki Sixx lookalike we got to play bass for us. It was funny. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good show.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. They're always good. Phenomenal. If you've never seen fucking Steel Panther, go fucking Steel Panther. Like, Jesus Christ. They did play Death 12 at Metal, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They did play some original music. Like that. They played Community Property. They played Glory Hole. Yeah. A couple more. Yeah, it was a good show. Speaking of shows. Dun dun dun.
Oh, yeah.
In less than 24 hours.
There is that happening. Yeah.
Aaron will have played a set.
Oh, Lord.
Friend, our co-host Aaron here, and his band Bog Wraith.
Yeah. last one of the year, man.
Last show of the year in Lansing, Michigan, opening for Born of Osiris.
Oh, yeah.
A band I do not know at all.
They're sick. Every time I've seen them, they've been, like, it's been memorable, which is, yeah, like, there's shows that you remember, and then there's, like, the ones that, like, stick out to me. And for some reason, like, like, 'cause I've only seen them twice.
Okay.
Both times it's been under, like, extreme weather conditions and, like, at like, big festivals and stuff.
Oh, damn.
So I saw them at Warped and I saw them at Mayhem Fest, and both times it was, like, excruciating.
Oh, Jesus.
As far as, like, the weather outside, like, yeah, it must have poured all day at that Mayhem Fest that they were at, that they shot the video for that was there.
Huh.
And then the day that it was, like, 115 out, it was Warped Tour a few years ago. I was up front. It was, like, the dead of the afternoon. Like, just
dying.
Yeah, it was rough, man. Like, but it was sick though. Like, I don't know. I was right up front for it and everything, so
yeah.
it was cool to see. But yeah, no, it's us. Assume Nothing, who are another local. I don't know. They've been around for a little while.
I think I saw them.
They were at
Metal
Metal
Fest.
Fest.
Yeah.
And then Of Virtue, who are really good.
Oh yeah.
They're doing some big things. They've been around for a long time. So I'm pretty excited to see them.
What time do you take the stage?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock sharp.
Yeah.
Is when the swamp comes. The Wraith.
Gets real swampy.
It's real swampy. The Wraith, my friends, is coming to town.
Got some interesting.
I'm excited.
I wish, like, it fucks with me because I was trying to figure it out the other night, and like it bummed me out thinking that like we only played a handful of shows this year. But you know, on the other side, I also kind of thought about, like, you know, there was a lot of shit that happened. There was a lot of we did a lot this year, and you know, it was just I don't know, something I was kind of hoping for, but it just, you know, whenever we had a chance to, it just didn't really pan out. So
bummed me out too, bro.
I know. Yeah, you're telling me.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, well, hopefully next year,
yeah,
we play a lot more.
Yeah.
Be nice to see you guys.
However, the quality of show that we were able to have in place of how much and how many is kind of more what I, try to focus on a little more.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, yeah.
Because, I mean, I like Fit for an Autopsy,
yeah.
Whitechapel,
yeah.
Yeah.
Born of Osiris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Get in there.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling, though, because we got some big fucking tours coming here next year that you guys could probably hippity hop on. You guys could probably pull some opening slots for, I don't know, a Dimmu Borgir.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh,
dude, I would lose my mind.
Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine that? How perfect. Dimmu Borgir and Bog Wraith. It fits.
Yeah,
it even
makes sense.
Fits.
Yeah.
Fuck. Make that happen. Oh, I would travel for that shit. Oh, man. Yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be a lot of fun to see you guys do a lot more shows.
Yeah.
I would. Is there gonna be any fucking maybe some new merch at the merch booth tomorrow? Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. I think like the only new thing that we have right now, and I think it might still be on our store, is the pig shirt that we had at Metal Fest.
Okay.
So we should have that, and we should still have. I think we got like music and stuff still. So
probably not the CD that I need though, right?
I don't think so.
God damn it! Why is it in every band that you're in? There's just one thing that only I want.
Do you not?
Never have.
Do you still not have a copy of the first Medica album?
No, I have a copy of that album, but the song was never on the album.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
that was not up to me.
No,
and if it
I'll
was,
give you that. You just happen to be there.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'll give you that. Like, God damn it. Because I was the only person that liked that song, except for me and everyone else in the audience that watched it.
Hey, I liked it too, only because it was fresh to me.
I thought it was sick.
Yeah.
The whole band, I was like, then why did you write it? Like, why did you make it if all of you hate it? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, why do you like that song? Because it's fucking dope.
I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was different.
I should buy it off of them. Then we should record it for Lost in the Dark podcast. I'll get Sisto to sing.
Probably make that happen.
I can make that happen. I'm just saying. Whoever wrote the lyrics, did Sisto write it?
I think so.
If he wrote it, then I guarantee you, I was like, hey, here's the date and time. I got it set up.
I wonder if he even, like, oh. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I really want the fucking video from Harpo's.
Oh,
that is a lost tape.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sick to have.
Yeah, I don't know. That whole thing was kind of a shit show, but I was trying to go to it.
It was a shit show.
But yeah, after hearing kind of what happened, like, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. Well, I don't know. It was a few years ago. I guess it don't matter. At one point after that, they had a page running to try to get Harpo's shut down.
I mean, yeah, I remember that. It's under new ownership now, so we're fine.
Yeah.
Which, it looks great. And we're both going.
Yeah.
For the Hate Breed show.
Yes.
Which, dude, did you just buy a ticket for it?
It's already, yeah.
You have it?
Done.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's done. It's in the books.
Yeah.
Dude, here's the thing. This is... If there's ever a show to put to the test one of the things we've talked about tonight in terms of intensity in the crowd, this is that show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Like,
as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, this is going to be violent. Like,
yeah.
This is...
Yeah.
This is going to be...
Yeah.
Intense.
When we had 2 carloads of people that went to Live Dominance, out of the 2 carloads of people, Preston and I were the only ones that left uninjured. We had an asthma attack, a broken ankle, shirts ripped off of bodies, fucking cuts, bruises. Everyone was hurt except for Preston and I.
Hey.
It was insane. But in fairness, I don't think this will get to that level, because the thing that people might not know about that show is that it was set for one date and then it was canceled and rescheduled. In that process, they ended up overselling tickets. So it was an overcapacity show, which is probably why it was that intense. I doubt this will happen for this show.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it was also a filming for the
live DVD. Yeah.
And I think because they were only they were about 4 or 5 albums deep by that point.
Yeah.
So, and now they're coming up on like what 9 or 10.
Are they making a new album?
I don't know if it's like set yet, but I think they're writing still.
It'd be nice if because the last one was really good.
Oh, dude, yeah. I somehow, like, I don't know, it seems to come up every, couple days. Like a song from it.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard, I don't know, I think whenever the single is off it, Looking Down the Barrel of Today or something like that.
Yeah, I love that song.
That's come up a couple of times this weekend.
No sleep.
Yeah.
No rest. I love that shit. Oh my God. Yeah, see, in the morning, whenever I can't decide what to listen to, I fall back on that, The Serpentine Offering by Dimmu, or Rain of Blood. Because like, when I just can't, when I'm just sitting there, like, oh my God, I gotta go, but I can't find anything. The thing that pops into my head is that guy from Metal Headbangers Journey that's sitting in front of the RV that goes, some people in the morning, they fucking do this, they fucking drink their coffee or read the newspaper. I got Slayer. I got Testament on. Fucking Like, yeah, that guy pops into my head, and I'm like, Raining Blood.
It's funny because I've thought about that same exact thing multiple
Isn't that
times, too.
crazy?
Yeah. It's like, all right, well.
For a while, it was Cannibal Corpse, because that just fucking wakes you up. Like, fire up the chainsaw,
Man,
dude.
I
hope so much they come to Detroit next year.
Yeah.
Because when he was like, it's time to fire up the chainsaw. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can't even explain to you the surge of power.
And I, like, in terms of, like, waking up to stuff and, like, you know, it's like I've found that, like, if it gets to that level that early, like, for one...
Start the fucking day at 11, motherfucker.
Yeah. For one, I'm going to get to wherever I got to go and want to fight everybody.
It's only going downhill from here anyway. Might as well start at 11.
Yeah. Or, you know, like, a lot of times, like, I just want, like, silence. Like, I don't want to hear anything. Like, because, or like, the other side is, like, I'll hear something on the radio and just get angry. Like,
I never want to hear, yeah. Well, see, that's why I don't deal with the radio.
Oh, dude, it's infuriating. Like, I went through that, and, like, I seldom do I ever use that, like, that word for anything. But, like, it just makes me angry. Like... Flipping through, like, it's talk shows or, like, 4 different country stations. That's it. Or, like, Bob and Tom. Like,
Jesus Christ.
which is, like, canned laughter for 4 hours. I don't know how they're still on the air.
Neither do I. It's weird.
So,
it's like a rip-off of Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, if you're listening to this, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. Your show,
fuck the motherfucker, fire up the chainsaw.
Yeah, your show is boring. It's played out.
Not that ours is very exciting.
No, I'm just fucking. I'm just messing.
But
no, like, yeah, it's the same sort of thing. Like, it's got to be like certain days and stuff.
Dude, no, in the morning, fucking, if I'm not, well, it's when I wake up and I go take a shower. In the shower, see, I don't really like silence. So from the shower to the car, I'm listening to a podcast because I don't really like music
that too,
immediately in either.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of more what I meant.
Podcast. Every Monday, Trailer Park Boys podcast is the one I listen to, but for the rest of the week, it's either like a Joe Rogan or a Kevin Smith in the morning usually, or a Diaz. And then once the day is going, on the way to work, either if the podcast is good enough, it'll continue, or because I know that's what I'm going to listen to all day at work is podcasts. So I usually pick music for the drive to get the juices flowing, get the fucking heart pumping a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, for the last couple of days, because you just saw I got those Slipknot albums. For the last couple of days, the first song of the day has been Waiting to Bleed. And that song it hits the spot for me for some reason right now. It's just so fucking hectic. Like...
I thought you were going to say People Equal Shit. I was like, all right.
No.
That album.
I love that song.
Yeah.
So.
People
Equal Shit.
That album. Dude, I remember when I first heard that song, like, I was like, I was like shaking and like walking away from it. I was like, holy shit. I don't know what this is, but
so good.
Yeah.
So fucking good. See, that's the other thing is like, I also in that process I was talking about earlier, I got to a point where once I put my own stereo in the car, which I did, like pretty much every car I got, once the new stereo is in, the radio never happens again. It's either Bluetooth. Back in the day, it was CDs, or now it's Bluetooth. So now I have no fucking idea what's on the radio. Like, I haven't had any idea of what's on the radio in years.
Yeah.
No idea. So I don't know if something is played out or not played out or this or that. So having that disconnect, I feel like lets me look at something like Slipknot that I used to look at as a radio band with a new perspective. Now that I can take that out of it and have a complete disconnect from radio because I have literally no idea what's going on it.
Yeah.
Literally have not listened to it in years.
Wow.
Fucking...
You're not missing much, I can tell.
Yeah, so...
Probably less than what was on it before, which isn't much.
So not knowing that lets me go... lets me take that varnish off of whatever it is I'm trying to listen to. Or anything that might potentially be on the radio to begin with.
I get that. I've had this. I can't think of any offhand right now, but there's been a couple of times where I've had that same thought and kind of went back to them and was like, it's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of dig this. It's not,
It's not what I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, and, with Slipknot, it's a very, like, if you're into it, you're a lifer, kind of. It's that sort of thing.
Oh, it's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, like, Avenged and, like,
They're one I'm not a fan of the vocal style.
That's fair.
That particular vocal style.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with the music behind it, but I'm just not a fan of that particular his voice. I don't think he's like not talented. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's a little different.
I mean? Yeah.
But it's very much like a fan thing.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're, and that's
as
sometimes
diehard as they
yeah.
come.
Yeah. So to bring it full circle there. Yeah. It's like, and sometimes, and like not just with those bands, but with like I think Five Fingers kind of done it for me a little bit, but like it can be kind of like a like I'm like good, like I'm not into this, like this.
Yeah,
I'm not,
Look, because now everybody's like, I fucking hate Five Fingers, pussy rock, whatever.
It is.
All right.
But it wasn't at one point.
Exactly.
And
it wasn't when it first came
Yeah.
out, and I saw them on literally their first ever tour, the national tour, when they were on the third stage at a festival called Family Values Tour. It doesn't even happen anymore. It hasn't happened in fucking over 10 years.
Yeah.
And they were nobody knew who the fuck they were, and I thought their name was stupid as fuck. But they had a pit going early in the day. And Preston and I were like, who the fuck is this? Like, there's a pit, let's go.
Yeah.
And we jumped in the pit. And from then on, it was like, oh, these guys, it's pretty cool. Like, we liked it. And, yeah. But, yeah, honestly, after their third album, I was like, oh, I don't really like this anymore.
To me, and I kind of picked it out the other day because I don't know, it was on and stuff. You gotta be kind of civil sometimes.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I
it's
hate
groovy.
I hate sounding like that because it's
pop rock.
Yeah.
Pop metal.
Yeah.
Now.
But like I don't know, like it's just like the last couple albums have sounded the same. It's been the same structure. It's been the same like
pretty much since
content stuff.
There was the first album, and then
I think American Capitalist was the last album I actually liked from them.
It was the second album, War is the Answer?
Yeah.
And then American Capitalist. Yeah. The first two are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The third one is okay.
Mm.
And then everything after that sounds like shitty versions of the third one, kind of.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know, because there was that double album, which has some
that
good
had a
songs
couple
on it.
moments.
Yeah.
Like because of the guests, though. Like the Rob Halford song was cool.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
More
but
so,
even
yeah.
those were super... They're cool, but they weren't great.
Mm.
Like, they were... catchy. Good for the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this will
Yeah.
get someone to buy the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I think they were cool, but I didn't, on the whole, it's like, you could have done more with that. You got Rob fucking Halpert right there. Like,
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I think lyrically it's just gotten pretty lazy.
Yeah, well.
every other word is fuck.
Yeah.
There's one song where that's it. That's the entire song.
Yeah.
And there's a chorus that's like 2 words.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I just fell off. I
Yeah.
fell off. But like the first couple times I saw them, like at festivals and stuff, they always had a good show. High energy, big pit, and I liked that.
I act like I never saw them because at one point there, I was into them and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, I thought I had
yeah.
a T-shirt somewhere. I used to have some T-shirts of them, but yeah,
It's not
anymore.
Yeah.
It's not my thing anymore.
It's not.
They went their direction and I went mine. And hey,
Yeah.
whatever. More power to them. Me and Lamb of God are doing just fine.
Me and
all this new wonderful shit that I've been discovering. Oh my god. Oh, so good. Can't believe New Children of Bodom came out today.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Can't wait for that album, dude.
Because they've been working on stuff for the last year, it seems like.
Yeah, because they've been posting on Instagram about it. Because there's a couple songs that I've heard, like, a snippet of the guitar track, you know what I mean? Or a snippet of the drums on Instagram.
Like, oh!
Yeah. Give me more, motherfucker.
I don't know what to do with this, but...
Hate Crow.
Very reminiscent of that. Made me happy.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. I am really excited you just bought that fucking Hatebreed ticket. Oh, dude. And the lineup is unbelievable.
Oh, dude.
The lineup is unbelievable. I want to see every single act on the lineup.
Because it's all, like, it's history, basically.
Yes, read it. Read it to me.
Like... I can find it.
Harpo's. It's on April 10th. Detroit, Michigan. Harpo's is back, motherfucker. Harpo's was gone, but now it is back, and this is the show to let people know.
That remains to be seen.
No, this is what.
However,
this is what I'm telling you. They know. We have this show. This is the one that's gonna let everybody know Harpo's is back, if it's back. But it looks like it's back. I'm telling you, like whoever's working their social media is on point. Them and the Machine Shop. They're really great too.
Some of their videos they've been posting are pretty good.
Yeah, they're really good. I like them a lot. Makes you want to work there.
Yeah. Well, see, all right. So I went to try to find the lineup, even though I kind of already know what it is, but I just want to be sure I'm not butchering it. And it's no European Apocalypse.
I don't know what that is.
It's their European tour that they're on right now. And like the end of the year, it's Creator, Dimmu Borgir, and Bloodbath.
Oh.
but
Dimmu.
But
can't wait to
it's Hatebreed with Obituary, Cro-Mags, Terror, and Fit for an Autopsy.
Holy shit.
So.
Holy shit. See, I'm really excited to see the Cro-Mags.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any of their music. But here's the thing. All of my favorite frontmen say the Cro-Mags is one of their biggest influences. I want to see
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see that.
Same thing with because I have a few Obituary albums, but I've never seen them and stuff, and they're like old school.
Yeah.
Like
they're around in early 90s.
Yeah. Even before then, I think they were one of the first.
Late 80s.
Yeah. They were like Morrisound. Like one of the first,
Do they have an album cover where it's like a bunch of doctors, like zombie doctors?
That's death.
Okay.
That's spiritual healing, which is also should get really into that band.
Hell yeah.
Because they're really sick. Terror.
Terror?
Yeah.
I don't really. They're another one that a lot of the frontmen cite. I think. Yeah. Okay.
They're super good hardcore band.
Hell yeah.
So, which is why it's like, this is just gonna be like a violent hardcore show, like old school. You know what I mean? Like
old school hardcore.
Yeah.
I'm
and
down.
Like the godfathers of death metal, like old school death metal.
I would still give that to Cannibal. Well, unless they came before Cannibal.
Let me see. That's because that's where I'm kind of.
They may have. We shall see.
I don't want to look up obituaries.
Obituary.
I want the band.
Obituary band in parentheses.
It was like, oh, Lansing State Journal. Like, no, that's not. There we go. So from Tampa, Florida, 1984.
Oh yeah, way before Cannibal.
Yeah, initially called Executioner.
Oh,
with an X.
That's a good one too.
So yeah, I think they got quite a few albums. Cause of Death, Slowly We Rot, Frozen Time. I think they put out one last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have Slowly We Rot, which is their first one, and then I think I might have Cause of Death too, which is really good. It's just like it's really raw sounding, just sick death metal. I don't know.
Metal.
Yeah,
that's intense. That is raw as it gets. That's as raw as it gets.
Yeah,
that's fucking
quite literally. Yeah, it's cool though. Like it, and that's another thing that I've been, another wormhole you can go down is like super old, obscure, like old school death metal.
Yeah.
Like, I still have yet to, but I mean, it's another thing because it's like for the time, like it was significant. Like some of like the main, like the really, I mean, obviously like, your Cannibal Corpse and like all your, like all their old albums and stuff. And, but after a while, it's all kind of sounds a little samey.
Yeah.
To me. And I don't know. I guess you kind of say the same about, majority of, like black metal, you find that a lot too, but that's mostly just because of the production.
Yeah.
Like it's all pretty raw. like sounds like it was recorded on one of them like Fisher Price like recorders and stuff, and but that's the point. Like that's the aesthetic, you know, and it's so gotta kind of get past that. But I tend to when I try to get into like early stuff, and I try to look at the staples, you know what I mean? Like the ones that stick out and the ones that have lasted, and then kind of go from there instead of just like picking one and just kind of going for it, because a lot of times you end up in some pretty odd places.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things I've been doing is, like, I'll find a band, and if they have a huge catalog, I'll, like, maybe search, like, top 10 albums from them and, like, read through a few lists and find the corresponding ones, and fucking, hopefully they're from a few different time periods, and I find the one I like the most in that, and fucking go around there, kind of thing.
Yeah. I usually look for, like, the best, like, the critically, and start there, and then...
It's fun.
It is. It's, I don't know, I spent majority of, my free time, usually, just starting on YouTube and just kind of going, I don't know, letting it play, whatever's gonna happen, or, like, looking for really obscure names, or, like, artwork, or, like, usually, like or, like, live videos and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I do that a lot. Check out live stuff.
Because that's really, like, the true...
It gives you a good idea of what's going on. Like, because, like, just, like, the album artwork image in a song doesn't always give you the full picture. Sometimes it does, and there's nothing wrong. Like, it's a good thing, but sometimes you need to see what's going on live to be like, oh, all right. I see what you got going on here. So, yeah. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah. I think you pretty much covered everything I could think of.
Yeah? Everything? Yeah?
About
I got it, too.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else.
I just recently discovered a new show.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever seen the movie Escanaba in the Moonlight?
I'm from Michigan, so
Okay,
yes.
thank
God. That's the correct answer to that.
Fucking great movie, bud.
Oh, dude.
Fucking great movie.
I haven't seen it since I was like, I don't know.
Oh, you should go back
really
and
young, yeah.
you should go back and watch it because it is funnier than you remember. It's awesome. But this show I found is like a cross between Escanaba in the Moonlight meets Clerks meets Trailer Park Boys.
So, like, all the best things.
Right?
Pretty much.
Right? It's called Letterkenny.
Is that on Netflix?
No.
No?
It's on, like, some weird network, but you can find it all for free on Daily Motion. It's not on YouTube, but it's on Daily Motion. And it's called Letterkenny. And fucking, it's funny as hell. And, yeah, it's like a cross between those things. It's a Canadian show, so there's a lot of parallels to Trailer Park Boys. But it's heavily dialogue driven. And it's like weird little conversations just like in Clerks. And one of the characters reminds me a lot in his, like, the way he talks and everything. He's Canadian, granted, but, I mean, let's be real, Yoopers and Canadians aren't that far apart. They have a lot of similarities. So he reminds me a lot of, like, Jeff Daniels' Yooper character in Escanaba in the Moonlight. And, like, a lot of their mannerisms and stuff like that kind of remind me of Escanaba, too, so. But, yeah, it's a really fucking funny show.
They're like 5 seasons deep into it.
5 seasons deep, but each season is only like 6 episodes. And the new season comes out on Christmas.
Oh. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's funny.
That sounds like it. Kind of how you've been describing it.
It kind of like took me a minute to get into it, but then I just went nuts and I was like, this is fucking awesome. I like it a lot. It's got some really funny moments.
I don't know if I've watched anything new, really.
Yeah.
Aside from, like, I've been watching a lot of, like, bad Christmas movies. Like, bad, but, like, I don't know.
Have you ever seen Krampus?
Yeah.
That's a good Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Only, like, solid, like, horror Christmas movies.
Yeah. I like that movie a lot. And The Grinch. And I kind of...
The Jim Carrey one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the original.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see... At first I didn't, but now I kind of want to see the new one. Because one of the directors of the new one is Scott Mosier. And he's Kevin Smith's best friend in real life. And they made Clerks together.
Oh.
And he's also the one that started Smodcast. So Kevin Smith's first podcast, like 15 years ago.
That's the animated one that's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah.
It's already out. And so he worked on it, and I heard him talking about it on an episode of Smodcast earlier today. And at first, I wasn't a big fan of the animation, but hearing him talk about it kind of made me more interested. So, one, it's got to be out on Blu-ray soon. Whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, I'll pick up a copy of that new Halloween movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to come over and watch it, because I've not seen it yet. I really want to.
I haven't either. I was kind of, just didn't working out.
I was bummed I missed it. Because everybody said it was really good.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good reviews about it.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely want to see that. And I kind of want to see Aquaman.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that and being surprised.
Looks pretty good. Other than that, not a lot. Oh, there is one movie coming out on Christmas that I absolutely have to see. Sherlock and Holmes.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I am so excited. I'm more excited about that than any of the other ones. Oh, my God.
That does look really funny.
Oh, my God. I'm so pumped for that shit.
Anytime those two are in a movie, like playing like opposite roles is just.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. And they haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, since Step Brothers.
I think that came out after Talladega. Or maybe Talladega came out.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
Yeah.
But there's something about that movie. Every time I watch it, it's just funny.
Oh, so fucking funny, dude.
Like,
oh, thank God. Will Ferrell was like the next generation's Adam Sandler. Like, he was one of the funniest ones on Saturday Night Live when he was on, and then he went on to make the funniest movies. And they were all no sequels. You know, a lot of similarities if you think about it.
Huh. I didn't before, to be
Neither
honest.
did I. Neither did I. But I think you could easily draw that. I think you could easily draw that comparison, though. And, God. Saturday Night Live in the 2000s was so fucking good, dude. Oh, my God. Sometimes you don't know you're in a golden age until it's over.
Yeah.
Luckily, we realize it right now, though. We see something coming with heavy metal and with all of these movies and everything.
Yeah.
It's a good time. God fucking Zilla is about to... Oh, did you see the fucking... Because last week was Tokyo Comic Con and they showed the toys, some of the toys for the new movie. So it was our first good look at all the monsters. Did you see that?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man.
Seems like I did.
First of all, Mothra looks sick as shit. Way dope. Super dope. But Godzilla, oh my God. It's like perfect. It's like the perfect Godzilla. Like, he got, like, the fins got more like instead of spikes straight out, they like grew. It looks like they grew into like how they normally are, like more like you know, like a fin than like a spike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, dude, it's so sick.
It's what would I just like
just search Godzilla King of Monsters or Godzilla 2018.
It says 2019.
2019, yeah. Let me see it real quick. I'll fucking... Or I could just probably pull it up right here. Shit. Sorry if we hear clicking, people. We're talking about Godzilla. For Christ's sake. You have no idea. I'm definitely going to do a reaction video to that trailer when it drops.
Oh, dude, yeah. That?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Oh, I didn't see this, actually.
That. Find Godzilla. And Mothra. Because Mothra looks sick as fuck. I feel like King Ghidorah's gonna look cooler in the movie. And Rodan looks good. But they definitely changed Mothra a lot. And it works. Yeah, because see, this was him in the last movie.
Yeah, all I'm finding is the... Yeah.
They're more spikes, straight out, right? So... Oh, shit. Fuck. Clicked on the wrong shit. Exit, I don't care about the trailer until the next one comes out on Sunday. I think this is... Oh no, it's just the fucking... I know what that is. Here we go. Here we go. See? Trailer number 2 arriving this Sunday. Oh, it's going to be crazy. Come on, show me. There we go.
Those are way better pictures than what I was seeing.
That's Mothra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little more full, I'd
Yeah.
say. Like...
He, like, grew up.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks
Damn.
so fucking good, dude. Jesus Christ. I'm so excited for this movie.
After the last one, fucking surprised the shit out of me.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody else complained, but I still loved it. Especially because
than-
it's getting us to this point.
Yeah. Other than the fact that, well, and the other thing was like there was a span of time where like I thought that they were, you know, because after that the other King Kong movie came out,
Skull Island.
which was sick.
Yeah.
I really liked that movie.
That's good as fuck.
Like I went into it not really expecting a whole lot, and left, and I was like, that was pretty awesome. Like,
yeah. They built something there.
Yeah. So I was like, man, maybe, you know, the resurgence of the big monster movies are like the next superhero, like Marvel. You know what I mean?
You know, I don't think there's. I think I don't think there's gonna be a next superhero Marvel because I think Marvel still has enough. I think people are underestimating how much more Marvel has to do that we want. They haven't even touched X-Men yet, or the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Like I feel like Marvel has a full nother phase, if we're counting them in accordance of Avengers movie, and I think you could, because of the way it's all set up, like this whole line of Marvel movies is ending at Avengers 4. The Endgame is the final chapter of this part of this book.
Mm.
And the next one, what was I going to say? I think the next one, though, you have a lot that you can still do that are going to, you know, it's still going to be just as big as it was. We're going to have, we have another, you know, possibly 3 to 4 Avengers movies that you could go through with it. And there's a guy that's above Thanos in the comics. You know what I mean? They could still have that guy come in. And so there's still a lot they could do. So I feel like especially with the incorporation of the X-Men, because that's the biggest thing. And with that coming, I feel like they still have legs to go for another 10 years, just like this first 10 years. But this next 10 years, I feel like we're going to see a lot more of a saturated market. I feel like it took everybody 10 years to catch up to Marvel, but now we're going to start seeing a lot, like you said, maybe some big monster movies or different kinds of stuff coming out. There's going to be more options all of a sudden. And the options are going to start getting better. Just like heavy metal. Someone's going to make something because they're tired of the superhero movies, but they're going to compete with the superhero movies, and it's going to be cool and new, but kind of like the superhero movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been so disappointed with the way that, like, just the horror genre in general.
That's another genre that needs a jump start.
Nobody's trying anymore.
Nah.
I feel like it's just cheap jump scares for an hour.
No, it's. I feel like a lot of people are cursed with this incorrect assumption that people can't be shocked anymore. And I think that's wrong. I just think they don't know how. I think they think that the only way to do it is with like a jump scare or something gory. We've become used to this. This is no longer how you shock us.
No.
You know, there's still ways to do it. It just, you're gonna have to get clever. You know what I mean? There has to be, like, look at the ones that have been great. Get Out, A Quiet Place.
I still gotta see both those, to be honest with you.
You haven't seen Get Out?
Oh.
Holy shit!
I've been trying to, but I've never had the.
Those are the 2 best horror movies that I've seen in the past 10 years. Okay. Besides The Conjuring.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm a little behind then, I guess.
Like, those two are... Or Krampus.
Oh.
But those two are fucking great. Like, really good horror movies. And, those neither... Like, yeah, they both have some jump scares. But both of them build on intensity. And that... I think... Like, the intense ones are always the ones that lasted to me. Like, that's why my favorites are things like Silence of the Lambs. Because of the way it builds and, like, yeah, just the intensity to it. Like, there's some imagery in it that's extremely gory and shocking and this and that, sure. But those aren't the parts that I remember are the parts that are most intense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I think the psychological stuff is definitely what I try to look for a little more, because, like, I don't know, everybody's done the super bloody, like, Saw, whatever, like, it was cool for a minute.
I never got into those movies.
That's
the torture movies.
Yeah.
I just never got into them.
Yeah,
that's why I loved it, because at the time, at those kind of movies' height is when that 2008 Rob Zombie Halloween movie came out, and I was like, this is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Like, this is something different. Even though it's a remake,
yeah.
It added so much to the story. It really felt like it stands on its own. And apparently it's not regarded. Apparently not a lot of people liked it, or at least that's the impression I got after hearing some random podcast recently. But I fucking love that movie. Like,
yeah.
I think it's great, but
I don't know. I just like, and I think that's probably, I don't really remember what was out when The Conjuring was happening.
Not a lot.
Yeah, but that was another one that was really at the time, and since then it's,
that was a breath of fresh air at the time too. Yeah, because it.
Oh, yeah, I got something else I want to talk to you about, too, since we're on this, but go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, it's just, because I think they did such a good job at portraying the aesthetic of the time period that the first Conjuring was set in, especially, like, even from the opening credits and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked the feel of it from there. And it was different from, like you said, a lot of other things that were out. What?
I was gonna make the connection to American Horror Story, and then I remembered that I have yet to talk to you about the last season.
Apocalypse.
Because I watched it.
You watched it?
Not wait. I thought Cult was the last one.
Apocalypse is the last one.
Did you?
I never finished Cult. I only saw like half of it. Or maybe more than half. I don't. I stopped Cult.
Okay, well then this whole time I was watching that thinking that was the new season. Okay, well anyway, you should probably, because alright, so what you were saying about that one, as far as like how they keep it really like,
there's no ghosts, there's no supernatural.
Yeah, I don't know. The story was cool. Like there was some all right, so let me back up a little bit, I guess. So like the thing that kind of killed it for me, in certain ways, was like when they brought it all back to like the political stuff, and they brought it, because like there were certain parts where like I forgot that was all going on, and then they kind of brought it back, and it was like, oh, it's because you're like, that was kind of, but I don't know, there was some kind of like, I don't know, it's just for some reason like. And maybe it was because I binged it a couple of I
mean, they all have their moments. Yeah. Like every season of that show has a couple good moments.
Yeah.
But like there was an episode where some truck was going down the street spraying something, and that was the last episode I ever watched of that season. Because I was like, I don't know. I was like, why? What? What? Why? What?
Yeah.
Like,
it was.
There's a lot of whats and whys, and I'm just like, ugh. Come on. Like,
I don't know. Like something about it just kept me watching, I guess, and like, I think I get more out of that show when I watch it like in a
Chunks.
big
Yeah, definitely.
instead of like week to week and stuff, because then I like lose what the story's about.
Yeah,
and, like,
it loses its like momentum.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, shit is now that I know that, because like, I swore that like that was the last one. I thought that was the most up to date.
No, Cult was last year, and Apocalypse just happened this year.
Did you ever finish that one or not?
Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yes, I did finish Apocalypse.
Is it being knowing what you know, the fact that I actually kind of enjoyed.
I think
for it. Like,
I thought.
And I do remember you saying a couple of things about it that made me kind of like.
Okay, the first 2 or 3 episodes of Apocalypse were fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But then it does something that makes you go, what? And kind of like hooks you a little bit. And I ended up probably liking it more than any season since Coven. But even still, the way it ended up ending made me roll my eyes. But I mean, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. I don't know, like it. I guess like the one thing that like kind of always like keeps me watching those is just like, I don't know, like I think it's the visual aspect of it. Sometimes, like there's a really like distinct. Keep going back to the word aesthetic, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
like they all like the camera angles and stuff, and like everything else. I think that's kind of what like keeps me into it in some senses, or like helps kind of like move things along a little bit.
No, I get that, and I agree. I like that too.
Like the way that there was a couple of things that they did with the clowns and Colt.
Yeah,
that was really fucking cool. Like I didn't think that they were ever gonna go back to that storyline, and they did within the first. Like, and that's...
Oh, yeah, the twisty shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What that was one of the things that made me roll my eyes when it was, like, fake.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But
It's like you can do that, but you're not gonna... But when you have a dinner for all of the most renowned serial killers, Bloodyface doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Come on. Be consistent. But I mean, I'll always, give it a go just because I know their potential.
Mm.
I've seen what they can do and the greatness that they can do.
It just sucks because at this point I feel like all of the cool shit and like all of the stuff that like I feel like they know that like people want to see it and stuff, and then they kind of like fan service their way into it, and then they like pull away from it and kind of go a whole other direction. And just kind of like
I definitely feel like they fan service stuff sometimes, and in a non-genuine way.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, all right, well, here's this from last season.
Yeah,
like people like that, whatever. Like, it's never like, Maybe everyone's just an alien. I don't know. Because
they're like such gigantic loose ends that they haven't even come close to tying up.
Yeah, that they probably will never.
They might never. And it drives me crazy. Like, how is it?
We could do a whole episode about this.
Yeah,
really.
We could. The bloody face and not showing up in the hotel.
Yeah.
The fact that we just had a whole season called Apocalypse, and back in season 2, we had 2 like miracle children that were special and destined for great things that could have also shown up to save the world, but they didn't. We never even saw them ever again.
Yeah, I don't know. There's things about it that just kind of bum me out, but like I don't know.
Remember Kit Walker's kids?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think about that until right now.
That's a thread that's never been tied.
Yeah. Huh.
Nothing. Just there's so much from because season 2 to me was their magnum opus.
Oh, dude.
That was their greatest. Transcended television to me.
Oh yeah.
but they've never ever they've never really gone back to it outside of bringing back a certain character to continue telling a new story, but never to go back to that one.
No.
So
I also feel like who's the main? I always forget her name.
Jessica Lange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like they give her and what like, all right. So she starts off cult like she's like this spazzy like fucked up like all this crazy shit's happening to her and stuff. And then, like, 3 or 4 episodes into it, she's just kind of like, all right, well, I'm over that now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much of it you
I only saw it once.
Yeah.
I saw it all, but I only saw it once.
There was, like, towards the end of the season, like, she, you know, when she, like, well, 'cause, yeah, you said you saw all of it?
Yeah.
You remember the dinner scene with her where she kills off, like... Well, she kills off a couple people. But
Yeah.
The one chick.
Yeah.
That she like that was pretty cold. Like
Yeah.
I remember watching that and being like, okay, like that was sick. And then she goes and does it to the other guy and stuff, and it's just like this big crazy like. So like I don't know, there's cool moments and stuff.
The
but,
Hatchet
like,
Man.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. The Axe Man or whatever. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, there are definitely some moments. But nothing like season 2.
Yeah.
That whole season was a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking gold. Ah, so awesome. Oh fuck! All right, now we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now we should probably wrap this up. All right.
I just that happened like last week and I was like thinking about it.
So yeah. Anne's got a show coming up tomorrow. This will be posted late tonight, early tomorrow morning. So, and then we got probably some trailer reaction videos coming and fucking our top 10 list, top 10 favorite albums of the year coming at the end of the month. So we got some stuff coming down the pipeline. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you very much for listening. We love you all. Good night.